It's the fourth week of Advent, the final week of Advent. It is Christmas week, folks. The final week of Advent is reserved for the season's most important theme, love. Love is one of those things that we feel like we have a pretty good understanding of, but it's something that we have to continue to learn time and time and time again. This week, we'll take a look at love from the viewpoint of God's glory. The glory of God is most clearly revealed in the love of God, especially for the world, that is, the people of God's creation. It's the most famous verse in the Bible, even if it's often misunderstood, but John says it best. For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish, but have everlasting life. John 3:16. The gift of God's Son, indeed of God's very self, is not something that is deferred to the crucifixion, but rather it is something that we receive with the birth of the Messiah himself, of God in the flesh, Emmanuel, on Christmas night. In other words, the gift we receive is the full weight of God's presence and glory in Emmanuel, God with us. The light that shines in the darkness, the light that transforms all of our darkest situations with God's love when we believe. God's glory, God's presence is God's love, for God is love, as 1 John 4:16 tells us. This is the love that came down that first Christmas and into the lives of Elizabeth and Zechariah, Mary and Joseph, and even the shepherds in the field, and that comes down to us on every Christmas and continues to be emanating from our lives as we believe in Jesus Christ. God's love is God's glory, and that baby born in Bethlehem is both in the flesh. And he shines a light of hope and a light of peace, a light of joy and a light of love into our darkest situations, transforming us and transforming the world through us. A world that is often saturated in darkness and in fear. But love is the opposite of fear. As John tells us again in 1 John chapter 4, verse 18, there is no fear in love, and perfect love drives out fear. And that's exactly what Jesus came to do. That's exactly why God came in the flesh, to drive out fear and to restore to life and light that which was once dark and dying. Whatever your situation may be, as we head toward Christmas night this week, remember this good news. Jesus Christ came. God came in the flesh. Emmanuel was born in order to drive out fear, the fear of your situation, the fear of all situations, and to shine light and love into our lives, to transform the world because he loves us that much.